Hey guys, it's Nicholas here from upgradeToLife.com. In this video, I want to talk to you about why being bold is a very important attitude when manifesting your desires. So this is something I realized in my own journey very deeply. So in the beginning, obviously we are not that bold because we question if all of that is working. We question if we will get the things we want. We question if it is possible for us to make a shift internally to be the version that we want to be and all of that, right? And we are not bold. But over time, when you test the law of assumption more and more, when you integrate this more in your daily life without seeing it as a hyped up thing, it just becomes a natural part of your lifestyle, then you will develop this bold attitude because you will know, oh, wait a second, nothing is set in stone. I can shift things around, and therefore you have just this bold attitude. And when I looked at Neville and his teacher Abdullah, I really realized that wow, they're just bold as fuck. And they just have this inner conviction, this inner attitude of I get what I want, no matter what my current reality is showing me right now. It does not matter. And when Abdullah, who was Neville's teacher, for those of you who don't know him, when he explained Neville Goddard how actually manifesting and the law works, he slammed the door in Neville's face and said, you already are in Barbados. So if you want to, I can explain this story, how Neville Goddard learned the law, in another video. Just let me know in the comments down below. And I will post a video on how, Neville learned how it actually works from his teacher. And I just realized that they're both very bold. So that is what I want to share with you right now in this video, why it's so important and how you can develop this bold attitude when achieving your goals and manifesting your desires. So with that, let's jump into the video. Now, before I share with you the more the content part, I would like to show you an excerpt of one of Neville's lectures, which is called Secret of Imagining. I will also link that below the video, and I would highly recommend you check that out. And in there, you hear Neville speak in his own voice. And when you listen closely, you can actually hear his conviction in his voice. You can hear how bold he is because he just knows that the law always works. He has tested it, he got his results, he still applies it in his life. So it's awesome to listen to him, to really get this feeling of, wow, this man knows what he talks about. This man really always gets what he wants, like this. So let's just listen to this and really think about what do you think while you're listening to Neville's voice.
The purpose of this record is to show you how to use your imagination to achieve your every desire. Most men are totally unaware of the creative power of imagination and invariably bow before the dictates of facts and accept life on the basis of the world without. But when you discover this creative power within yourself, you will boldly assert the supremacy of imagination and put all things in subjection to it. When the man speaks of God in man, he's totally unaware that this power called God in man is man's imagination.
Let me know what you think about this. And with that, let's jump into the video. So you can be a sheep, or you can be something else that I will show you in just some seconds. So when you are a sheep, basically, right, then you are a victim to life. And I want to share with you some points that make out this sheep mentality, this victim state. So when you are in this, when you're the opposite of bold, so to say, right, this is what this should symbolize. When you're this sheep like-minded person, then you will say things like, oh, this will never work out. It's just too big for me. Or I can't imagine. I try so hard, but nothing changes. I've tried for so long and I don't get it. Or I did this, I did that. I got this coach. I got this course, whatever it may be. But this is a huge indicator that you are in the victim state. Also, this is when you're blaming yourself or even others for your current circumstances. Or that is the biggest I don't want to call it like mistake, but that's like the biggest thing that people do, which actually holds them back, when they blame others for where they stand in their life or for what they experience in their life. But that is just, again, another indicator that they have not accepted their own power, that they go through life on autopilot mode and in this victim mentality. Because you can never blame anyone else for your circumstances. You are 1000% responsible for how your life unfolds. You can never blame anyone. And you should also not even blame yourself, because when you get down on yourself, when you spiral down on, oh my God, I had a doubt, I had a fear, whatever, then you make it also more complicated for yourself. So this is when you let your senses dictate how you think and feel. And I will touch base on that later in the video when I share a quote by Neville with you. Also, it's thinking that you're doing something wrong, and it is worrying about the how and when. And I see many people still do this. Like, they know Neville, they know the law of assumption, they know that the how and the when is actually not something that they need to worry about, because it's always like taken care of. When you have this faith, when you have this trust that you get the things that you want to have, right? When you realize that your imaginal acts basically and literally manifest in front of you. So why still continue to worry about the how and when? This is not our job. And even Neville said, like, the how and the when is not your job to figure that out. That's it. Also, it's when you're seeking desperately for a magic pill, right? You're desperately seeking out for help, and you're asking in thousands of forums, and you're asking thousands of coaches, like, oh my God, I need this, please help me. Again, it's not bad to ask for help, obviously not. And I also love to help people like making profound internal shifts. But when you're coming from this desperate place, then this is a huge indicator that you are in this sheep-like mentality. And it is changeable, like, of course, 100%, but you cannot still go around and search for the next video, the next shiny method, and this and that. That's just not how it works. And it is also when you're talking about your problems all the time. So something is not going the way you want to, there is maybe like an opposite, or things just not showing up in the way that you want them to currently, and you have some friends or family members or people online, and you all the time consistently talk about your problems. But what this is doing is actually you become aware of your problems again and again and again. The more you talk about your problems, the more aware you become of your problems. And whatever you are aware of, whatever you're conscious of, that is what you experience in the world. So when you're conscious of problems and nothing is working for you, and oh my God, I'm doing something wrong, then that is exactly what you will continue to experience over and over again until you shift your state. So now let's talk about the way that we, or I, would recommend you start to approach your life from, which is this bold attitude. And the best animal to explain that with is actually the lion, because we all know this is just the fucking king of the jungle, and he always gets what he wants. So this is kind of the attitude that we want to have in our life, because you need to realize that it is your birthright to get exactly what you want, right? It's not a maybe, or maybe this is not for me, things like that, right? What you decide that you want, you can have it, literally, right? It just depends on your decision. Can you make a decision or not? So this is when you are confident, when you're courageous, when you are assured without showing any fear. You just go after what you want. And I fully get it, right? It is not the easiest thing to have this attitude when you lack of some experiences with the law, when nothing has like changed for you already. Then it is not easy to get into this, but you can make the decision to step more and more and more into that state. And this is when you're not being affected by your current and maybe even unpleasant circumstances. Because when you know that you are the operant power and that actually everything is depending on your state of consciousness, then at some point you will eventually realize that, there is maybe a thing that I don't like, but I don't care, because it will change, it will shift. I'm the operant power of my life, of my reality. So why would I like spiral down on this small little thing that is right now there? So you are stopped to accept the victim state, and you start to being the authority of your life. And you never accept as final what is not your ideal. And you are remembering the supremacy of imagination. And that is actually the most important part of that. You remember the supremacy of imagination, which means you remember that your imagination creates your life experience. Whatever you imagine, and by the way, you imagine 24/7, you cannot pause this, right? But you can consciously imagine your preferred results, the preferred version of yourself, and your goals already being there, and therefore that is what's going to show up in your life. And when you forget the supremacy, when you forget that you have the power to change things, to shift things, then you are again in this sheep mode. But when you remember this and you do not accept as final what is not your ideal, right? Things along the way, and maybe you get, like some people call this like this partial manifestation stuff, which is just not your end result, then what is it? It is not your end, so it's nothing, right? Only your end is what you accept. And that is very important in my opinion. And it does not mean to be aggressive or forceful, or you go around and shout at people, right? That is not what bold is. It's just a calm conviction, an internal calm conviction. And that's it. Very easy, actually. I think I got the point across, right? So don't go around and try to force things. Try to force to change people. That will not happen, and this is not possible. You change yourself. And therefore, you change the way how you see others, and then others will see you differently, and your life will shift around. So make a choice. Make a decision. Do you want to continue to be in this kind of victim state mentality, into this sheep mode, or do you start to be the lion, realize the power that is within you, realize that you are the operant power, and that with your imagination you can create your preferred life experiences in a more carefree way, or not? So this is a decision that you have to make. I definitely can tell you from my experience that when you start to test everything more and be more bold, that also just life is more fun, and you will not settle for less, and you will keep your reality and your life at high standards, because that is what we want. Why do we want to settle for less in our life? This actually does not make sense, because it is our birthright to have an awesome life and to experience the things that we want. So choose it, claim it, and make this decision. And to translate the word sheep and lion, we can actually also translate this to doubt and faith. So on the left side, when you in this kind of state of mentality, you are like, you have doubts, your fears and worries, which Neville calls like the Satan or the devil. But when you have faith in the unseen reality, and I also made a video about this, I will link it above, then you're just faithful, you're bold, and you keep staying in your conviction. And Neville said, we must live boldly. We must go through life as though we possessed what we want to possess. So you cannot go around in life wishing for things and wishing, oh, it would be so nice if I had more money, if I had this partner, if I like manifested this or that, or if I am this confident person, it would be so nice if I were this, but right now I'm so poor and broke or whatever. But here's the thing, when you say this, when you go through life like this, then nothing will change. Because then you still stay conscious and aware of not being the way that you want to be. So the better thing would be to go about life, asking yourself, okay, how would I go through life right now if I already would be XYZ, more confident, loved, appreciated, wealthy, whatever. It literally can be everything. So that is crucial, right? And I think Neville was right when he said this. We must live boldly. Because if you don't live boldly, then you live in the sheep mode. So Neville continued and he said, I closed the door. Which door? The door of my senses. I simply shut out completely all that my senses reveal. I suspend the limited reason of the natural man and walk in this bold assertion that I am what my senses deny. So even though your senses deny that you are right now more appreciated or confident or the person that you want to be, or when your senses deny that you already have your goal, you keep that assumption that you already have it alive. You go bold through life and say, I already have it. And this does not mean that you go around your life 24/7, forcing yourself and making yourself believe and therefore creating resistance. No. But when you know that your imagination is what creates your reality, then this will become easier for you to do. And then even though things are not there yet, you'll just know they actually are there. And when you stay aware of that, right, when you stay aware of this new state of consciousness, then this is exactly what you will experience in your life. And with this video, I wanted to help you understand why being bold is important. You cannot go around still questioning, doubting everything and worrying. I mean, that's okay, and this happens in this journey. Still to this day, I sometimes have small doubts or fears, but I accept that this just sometimes comes up. It's natural. I mean, we're having this human experience. We are human beings. It just happens. So it's all dependent on how you perceive it, how you deal with it. And when you learn how to deal with those stuff, then it will fade away very, very quickly, and you will not be bothered and faced by it. And it will just fade away, and boom, you're back to being bold and going after your goals, desires, and your dreams. So make a decision, make a choice. What do you want to be? What do you want to experience? That's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this? Do you already feel that you have this bold attitude, or do you feel this is right now missing? And also, you can suggest me video ideas and just how you enjoyed this video. I will talk to you in the next video. See you guys. Bye.